October 27th had been a day like any other. There wasn't anything particularly special about it. No anniversary or birthdays fell on it, no public holiday either, yet for Abigail Hanson it was a very great day indeed. Great in size, not in tone or vibe. She was only ever Abigail when there was something amiss, when she had royally screwed up and had found herself up a certain creek without a certain piece of apparatus. Any other time she went by Abby, just Abby. On that particular October 27th, though, she was most certainly Abigail. Staring at a figure straight ahead of her, Abby had shook her head in disbelief at how they had the audacity to just stand there, looking like shit, when they had no right to. Unshowered, matted hair, which looked like a nest of tangles that belonged in a bird's nest and not a person's head. Ghoulish, unhealthy-looking and glum, with days-old food stains on their pajamas, Abby wasn't sure what she hated more, that the person had the audacity to just stand there in front of her looking so disheveled, and didn't seem to have a care in the world at their lack of pride in their appearance, or that she was looking in her bedroom mirror. "Get ready, Abigail. Right now. We cannot miss this flight," came a shout from downstairs. It was unmistakably her father. Even though he was abrasive, and they were currently at loggerheads, she knew that there was little choice other than to obey. That didn't mean that she had to like it, though, sticking a middle finger up at him and mouthing for him to go and love himself, neither of which he would see or hear, but it made her feel better to stick it to him. Even if only in her head. That would most certainly tell him all right. The pain in the ass that he was. Normally, Abby loved to fly. She loved the whole ritual, from arriving at the airport and grabbing a piping hot coffee, going through security and picking up a mammoth bar of chocolate that she was never going to eat on the flight. All the way to boarding the plane, people watching the whole time, the sweet old married couples getting assistance with their frailty, the families that were trying and failing to control their sugar rush high kids as they worked on 4 hours sleep, the couples so in love it was a little bit sickening, but also massively jealousy-inducing, sharing inside jokes and Eskimo kisses, and taking cute selfies. All that coupley shit. Then there were people like Abby who, she supposed, weren't worth watching, except maybe to pity. It wasn't as though she had a fear of flying, or anything paranoid or anal like that. Abby had watched enough documentaries and horror films to know that shit like that didn't really happen in this day and age, particularly in this part of the world. Or if it did, the odds were astronomically high. The reason for her defeated despair was simply that she really did not want to be on that damn plane. It was almost like a reflex that Abby noticed her hand fidgeting its way through the playlist on her phone that she had made on Spotify, whilst in the cab. Good vibes only. That was complete bullshit, and she knew it. It was going to take a lot more than a playlist of songs with a lame name to cheer her up. Even if they were her go-to tracks. The ones that settled her head and her heart, or the part of the head that Abby told herself was the heart anyway. Some things couldn't be solved with a guitar riff, or a palpably impressive rap, even for a melomaniac like Abby. Some things were much more complicated, and then there was the predicament that she found herself in. Something dark and malicious had a hold of Abby in that shabby, grimy, grubby chair that she found herself sitting in, and it was an unhealthy level of anger. She was furious, and at the same time Abby was frightened. It was almost as though someone was pressing down on her shoulders without respite, or that she was in a swimming pool without knowing how to swim. Or perhaps both, with someone holding her head under the chlorine-overdosed water and not letting her up for air. The knowledge at the forefront of the mind that at least a dozen other swimmers had urinated in that water,